Hi guys! So today is 1 month of raw vegan eating, and I decided to start eating raw vegan because I really wasn't feeling good. And I've been a vegetarian my whole life, well, almost my whole life, since I was 9 years old, and I became a vegan 2 years ago. And kind of at the same time that I became a vegan, I was going through getting ready to have a major surgery. I had to have old mesh taken out of my belly, and then they put in a full sheet of mesh. So I was going through a lot of physical problems also at the same time, and my body just was not working the right way. So going from vegetarian to vegan was so difficult because I really had not done any research on how to eat correctly and what my body needed, and it wasn't physically working very well anyway. So it has been a long journey and a struggle to figure out what is going to work in my body being a vegan. Now, I knew that once I became a vegan 2 years ago that I was never going to go back to eating animal products. So I knew I had to figure out a way to be a healthy vegan, to feel good, to maintain my weight. When I was going through my surgery, I actually gained some weight, which is understandable. I was just in and out of the hospital, laying around, couldn't move my body. I still am very sedentary. I can't move my body much now. I walk on the treadmill when I can physically. And so I have to rely on food. Like more than 95% of how I look and how I feel is food, because I can't go to exercise to feel better. So nothing was working, and I was getting really frustrated, not at being a vegan, but that I couldn't figure out what my body truly needed. And I had tried everything. I had tried upping my protein, upping my fat. I couldn't really do a lot of vegetables at the time because I had some bowel issues from the surgery. But I can't even remember. Oh, it was Ravana. I was going through YouTube and one of her videos just popped up. And I remember thinking, I've got to try this. I have to try this. And there are so many raw vegan experts out there. I am not an expert. I've only been doing this for a month. I'm still learning. And just to let you guys know, one of the biggest mistakes that I made starting to go raw vegan, and you can kind of look at it like with any diet change. I'm not looking at this as a diet. This is the way that I'm eating for the rest of my life. So anytime that you change the way that you eat and you find, like my husband is he does the ketogenic diet, which is super high fat, hardly any carbs, and then he has one cheat meal a week. So that is working really well for him, and he's a meat eater. So I feel like even with him, the way that he's eating and me eating raw vegan, you have to find a balance that works for your body. And the biggest mistake that I made when I first started raw vegan was everyone was saying, oh, you're not going to get enough protein, you're not going to get enough fat, you're not going to have enough energy, you've got to eat tons and tons of fruits and vegetables to maintain your calories. So the first day that I started this, I had this whole counter was full of fruits and vegetables, and I was just looking at it like, there is no way I'm going to be able to eat all this in a week. But I was trying, and I didn't feel good. It was too much in my stomach. I don't like the feeling of my stomach being bloated and stuffed. Me personally, I don't like that stuffed feeling. I like my stomach to feel flat, and I like to eat until I'm comfortable, and I'd rather eat more small meals throughout the day than to stuff myself 2 or 3 times a day. So that was one of the hardest things for me to learn. So what I did is I stopped counting calories, which was huge. I stopped thinking that I had to stuff all of this food and counting how much fat, how much protein, how much carbs. I stopped doing that. And I'm following 80-10-10 kind of as a baseline. I'm not doing it to the T. I found that my body needs a little bit more fat and a little bit more protein. More the fat, because I found that at night I was feeling like my body was craving the fat and protein. So instead of 80-10-10, I'm definitely doing a little bit more of fat and protein, but not much. My body didn't need much more than that. So I will show you guys what I have been eating. For about 2 weeks, I found a really great balance that's working for my body. So every day for breakfast, I have been doing 3 oranges, and I try to buy everything organic. So 3 oranges and a big chunk of pineapple. And I bought this Ninja blender. I love this. I was going crazy with my smaller blender. Every time I would put stuff in there, it would get stuck, and I didn't have one of those things to push it down. So this is awesome. I got this on Amazon. Everything that I show you today, all of these, my favorite gadgets for fruits and vegetables and raw vegan eating, and even just if you love fruits and vegetables. I got all of this on Amazon, and I will link the exact links that I used to purchase them below. So this is the Ninja, and you just release it like this. It has a pour spout. It has this amazing blade on it. Hopefully you can see that. This thing is Chopper City. So you just put that in there this way, lock it, and that's it. Blend away. And then it's got the little pour spout. Love this blender. So I do that. Oh, this is it actually right here. This is my oranges and pineapple. So I stay up later at night usually because I work from home, and I feel like I definitely get more creative at night. So I'm staying up later. So my last time that I eat something, not my last meal, but usually the last thing that I put in my mouth is maybe around 8, 9, even sometimes 10 o'clock at night if I'm hungry. I don't want to go to bed feeling hungry. But the difference is I'm not getting up at 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm sleeping until say noon. So I'll get up and I won't be eating until 1 in the afternoon. So that's giving me a huge span that my colon gets to rest, everything gets to feel better in my stomach, and that's when I drink this in the morning. I just recently saw a video from another YouTuber, Jennifer Jenkins, and she's awesome. She's so sweet. Check her out. I'll link her below. And she has got an amazing body. Amazing. She's a meat eater, but there was one specific thing that she said in the last video that she did about how she maintains her figure in her 40s. And one of the things that she said was intermittent fasting. And I had never heard of that before she did, and she had never even heard of it before she looked it up. So I just thought it was a really neat thing that I never even knew about. And I've pretty much been doing that for most of my life. So if I stop eating at 8 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock in the morning, that's 12 hours. So 9, 10, 11, 12. So noon will be 16 hours of no food. So I do that without even realizing it. And I think, I don't know why I've done that. I just like the way it feels. So after I have breakfast, which I don't know if you want to call it breakfast at noon, but that's when I have my orange juice and pineapple. And I don't think about what time I'm going to eat lunch. It's whenever I feel hungry. And if I've walked on the treadmill that day, I'll be maybe more hungry. So what I do for my lunch is I always have celery, and I've got it all cut up in water, and I make a date dip. And this is just water and dates, pitted dates, and I mix it up in my NutriBullet, which I'll show you. This is my NutriNinja. I love this thing, so I just put a handful of the pitted dates in there and I add water and I just blend it up. So I'll do the celery and dates and just dip into that until I'm not hungry anymore. And then I'll just eat a couple of bananas, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, depending on how hungry I am. I'm not counting calories, I'm completely listening to my body, and that has worked wonders. So actually my favorite meal of the day is dinner, and what I do is I prep for the whole entire week. So I'll go grocery shopping, we have Peapod delivered, and I'll figure out how much I need for the whole week, and then I will prepare everything. So what I've been doing is red peppers, green peppers, and shredded carrots. And I use this little Black & Decker chopper that I just throw in my little carrots and chop it up like this. And then I tried the peppers in here. Don't do that, it doesn't work. They get all mushy. So I cut up the peppers by hand and I set up my 7 containers in the fridge. So it's super easy for dinner time. I don't even have to think about it. I definitely like food prepping for the week because I don't have to think about what I'm eating. I always know that there's something in there that I can grab and it'll be super easy. So I take this with my organic romaine lettuce, and as soon as I get it, I wash it. Oh, and my salad spinner. I have to show you this. I love this. I just bought this on Amazon, of course. All this I bought on Amazon. So you put your veggies in there. You can fill it up with water. So for the lettuce, I let the lettuce soak, put it in there, then pick this up, dump the water out, put this back in with the lettuce in there, and you pump it, and it spins all the water out, and it's got a little brake button over here. And that's it, and then you pull this out and your lettuce is dry. Love this thing. So after I take the lettuce out, I lay out a paper towel and I put all of my lettuce in, and then I roll it up like this so it stays dry, and I put it back in the bag, and this will last for weeks. It doesn't get wilty, it works wonderful. So this is the other part of my dinner. I take my piece of lettuce, big piece of lettuce, and I make veggie tacos. And I just take this and I dump it in there, and I use my tahini dressing. This, oh, I think that's why I like dinner so much, because this is so delicious. I'll tell you how I make that. Okay, for the tahini dressing, which is sesame tahini. It's creamy puree of roasted sesame seeds. So this is almost like a peanut butter consistency. So you just have to mix it up really good. And I don't measure. I'm not a good cook or mixer, so I just wing it however it tastes good. So what I've been doing is taking my bullet and I fill it up maybe to here with tahini. Then I squeeze a whole entire lemon. I do 1 clove of garlic, put that in there, and the rest I fill with water and put it in the bullet, let it go for a while until it gets creamy, and it comes out kind of watery, which is okay because I don't want it to be too thick. I want to be able to drizzle it on my tacos. You can also use this as a veggie dip. Oh, it's so delicious. So if I'm still hungry for dinner or right after dinner, like as I'm still eating my tahini, which has fat and protein in it, I'm definitely grouping my foods together. So I do the most watery foods for breakfast, which is the oranges and pineapple. For lunch, I'm doing the dates. Not every day. Some days I'll just grab 2 bananas and that's all I'll have for lunch. So if I'm still feeling like hungry for dinner, I will grab my celery again and I'll dip it right in my almond butter. That is really delicious. It's like really filling. And I don't do a ton of it. I'll just maybe a tablespoon of almond butter and just chow down on the celery. That is really, really satisfying because it's super crunchy. So another thing that I'll snack on is kale chips. And I made these myself. I was so proud of myself. Oh, they smell so good. This is my dehydrator that I just bought. I love it, love it, love it. It's super light. It has these plastic trays. It has 5 trays. So you can fill every single tray. And what I do is I get the curly kale and you pull the thick stems out first because it won't dry. So I wash all the kale with my salad spinner and dry it all, and then rip the stems out and put it into a bowl. Once it's in the bowl, I take my nutritional yeast flakes. I also got this on Amazon, this huge container. And some raw foodies would say this is not technically raw, but to me, I'm using it anyway. So this is nutritional yeast flakes. It's a superfood fortified with additional B vitamins. This is not yeast that you find in bread. This is nutritional yeast, and it has almost like a cheesy flavor, kind of. It just gives the kale chips like a delicious flavor. So when the kale is still a tiny bit damp and it's all in the bowl, I just sprinkle some of this on there, like a few tablespoons. And you can also sprinkle a little garlic in and just mush it up with your hands and then dump it into all the trays, like a nice even layer. And I cooked it in this dehydrator at 125 degrees for 6 hours and they came out amazing. This is a great just snacky thing to have during the day, or you can bring it with you, put it in little baggies. Love the kale. Another thing that I feel like I cannot live without, especially being a raw vegan, because everything that I eat is either cold or room temperature, and sometimes I just want something warm. I just want to feel like warmth in my belly. So I have been drinking so much of this Teami tea. They have every different kind of tea. This is my absolute favorite, the Relax tea. And let's see if I can read this. This has peppermint, yarrow, lavender flower, chamomile, lemongrass, orange peel, and valerian root. Love this so much. So I have been drinking this at least 3 times a day, and you just take a teaspoon, put it in. They also sell these tumblers, which I love. Take the hot water, and it has a strainer. Put that right in. Put the top on, and that's it. And then you just let it steep. So this has been a save-all of save-alls for me, getting that warmth in my belly. And I feel like since I became a raw vegan, I am so cautious about what I'm putting into my body. I always try and do organic. I feel like if I'm gonna do it, if I'm gonna do this healthy thing for my body, I'm gonna do it all the way. So I'm doing all organic. This is all natural tea. It's got no junk in it. This one has no caffeine. I also have this colon tea that they sent me, and I have not yet tried this. I'm still dealing with my own colon issues, so I'm gonna have to wait a little while before I try this, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. And it comes in these little tea bags, so you can just put this right in your cup. They have so many different kinds of teas. I'll link their website below, and I also have coupon code so you can save if you want to buy any of their tea. And they have the relax tea, the colon tea, which cleans out your colon. They have detox tea. They have skinny tea to help you lose weight and de-bloat. They have every kind of tea I could ever even think of is there, so I'll link that below for you. So my absolute favorite thing that I've been doing every day with no guilt is having banana ice cream. I either do it with just bananas or with bananas and blueberry. And what I do is when my bananas are super ripe, I take wax paper or parchment paper and I cut up the bananas like this and roll them in the paper and freeze them. So I have a ton of frozen bananas ready to go. And I've tried a bunch of different ways of freezing them, and for me this is the quickest and easiest way without getting a big banana rock coming out of the freezer. I tried putting them in and freezing them a little bit ahead of time, and it just was stressing me out. So I decided to do it this way, and it's been working great. So each little wrap is one banana, so depending on how hungry I am or how much I want to eat, I usually do this at night. This is my little treat for nighttime. So what I'll do is take like 2 to 3 bananas, I put them in my bullet, put them in here, and I have organic vanilla extract, and I put maybe 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon in the blender. And then I put a little dash of coconut water. You don't really even need this. It's just sometimes if I'm not being patient enough, the bananas aren't thawed enough, and this helps to thaw it out. You can actually do it just with bananas and a tiny bit of the vanilla. Oh, it's so delicious. Or you can just add some frozen blueberries. I get the organic frozen blueberries that are already in the freezer. So good. So I also got these really cool fruit bowls on Amazon. This one has got to be my favorite. I love this. So I got this one and 2 of these glass ones. I thought these were so pretty, and these were so cheap. I'm like such a bargain shopper, so I got 2 of these, and it's definitely working great to store all of my food. The bananas you can see are hanging there. I just took a little cup hook and I screwed them underneath the cabinet. Or actually, those are screwed in. And then these are just the little stick-on hooks. I'll link those below also. I just stick the little hooks on and you can hang your bananas so they ripen perfectly. So I feel like this is working so well for me. I'm feeling so much better. I finally took off that extra weight after my surgery. My belly is finally flat again. I'm so excited. And I'm just feeling so much less puffy. I've had more energy. I feel so good, and I'm so grateful that I found this way of eating and it's really working. I think that's the key. Is I'm not saying that everyone needs to go raw vegan to be healthy and to feel better. I feel like for me, I knew I was never going to eat animal products again, so I had to find a way to eat. For you, if you feel like your body functions better on higher fat, maybe that's the way for you to go. If you feel like it functions better on higher protein, maybe that's the way to go. I feel like what I've learned figuring out what is working for my body is that you have to listen to your body. If, like I knew, even though I became a vegan, I knew that it wasn't working for my body. I didn't feel good. I was puffy. I was hanging on to that extra weight. I knew that it wasn't working, but I didn't know how to change it. I didn't know what to do, and it was causing me so much stress and anxiety, and I was having all of these tests done, all of this blood work to find out what was wrong. I think the biggest thing that really freaked me out is my cholesterol was high. How does a vegan get high cholesterol? Processed food, fat-free crackers, fat-free pretzels, anything that is like English muffins, pizza crust, anything that I was thinking was okay to eat along with my vegan diet is not. Anything that is processed will spike up your cholesterol. So I can already tell by not eating any more processed food that my body is functioning so much better, and it's just incredible. It happens so quickly. So what I'm going to do in a few months, I'm going to recheck my cholesterol, and I will give you guys numbers and let you know what I went from still being vegan, going from regular vegan to a raw vegan. I will let you know how much my blood work has improved. So another thing that I realized is if you don't feel good and you don't like the way that your body looks, you don't like the way your body feels, you're not putting into your body what your body needs. So figure out at least something that works for you. There's always some food that works for everyone that makes you feel good. And you know, when I eat this, I always feel good. Go from there and maybe find different ways of eating that you can follow along. Like I'm following along the 80-10-10, but not by the book at all. I have to find my own way of eating that works for me and that feels good for me. And I feel like I'm on such the right track, and I really hope that this helps you guys figure out if you're having any issues with food at all. I really believe that it's also the emotional part of it. I believe that if there's emotional eating, that we have to figure out where that's coming from, and we have to deal with that first. Don't even try new diets, new ways of eating. I don't believe in diets. I call it a diet sometimes, but I mean that is my diet plan that I'm eating for the rest of my life. That is my new way of eating, my new way of living. So I don't believe in temporary dieting that helps you lose weight and then you go back to eating your normal way. I personally feel like if you can't eat a certain way for the rest of your life and feel satisfied and feel good, don't do it. Do something that you can change your whole way of eating and your whole way of living forever. I know that this is gonna work for me forever. I don't feel like I'm anxious about it anymore. I feel like it's working. And I'm not saying this is the only foods that I'm gonna eat forever, but for right now, it's working for me. So this is just the combination of foods that I've been eating and that works for me. So you guys can find the combination of food that's gonna work for you and make you feel better. I definitely went through so many years, and even recently before I started eating this way, of hating food. I honestly hated food. I didn't want to have to eat. I didn't want to have to think about it. I felt like every time I ate, I didn't feel good. It was making me feel tired and making my hormones go crazy. And food was my enemy. It was making me gain weight. Why would I like food if it was not making me feel good? I feel like for me, switching over to raw vegan has completely changed my relationship with food. I feel like because I'm like giving the food love, because it's making me feel better, I'm happy to eat now. Because when I eat, I feel good and my body's looking better. I feel like it's responding to me in the right way, so I know it's the right thing to do. So if you guys try a certain way of eating, you don't like the way you feel, you don't like the way that your body looks, change it. It's not working. I would say, I'm not an expert, I'm just giving my thought process. Like, if something's not working for me, I know pretty much right away. But I would say give it a month. If something's not working for you in 1 month, it needs to change. And maybe it's not big changes. Maybe it's just a little tweak, like what I had to do with trying to stuff in all these fruits and vegetables and make sure I get enough nutrients. I feel like for me, it was just little tweaks of just starting to listen to my body. So I hope this helps you guys, and I am wishing you all a happy, healthy journey with your food, and let's all learn to love food together. I love you guys so much. Bye!